Hola, ¿cómo están, my compañeros? I want to show you this report that underlines a majority of the discrimination that occurs in the world and the fact that it is ignored largely by the quote-unquote social justice warriors of the United States. I want to point to a few instances in the MENA countries. MENA stands for Middle East and North African countries. MENA countries. It talks about how in the MENA countries, females are subjugated to unequal legal rights, constraints on economic participation and opportunity, underrepresentation in political processes, conflict and displacement, lack of representation in conflict resolution and peace negotiations. They're susceptible to radicalization, terrorism, and violent extremism, and they are disproportionately affected by COVID-19, purportedly. MENA countries are countries that are in the Middle East and North Africa. These countries include countries like Yemen, Syria, Israel, countries that one would consider in the Middle East and North Africa. It's interesting though, because they all have quite a few similarities between their ideologies, even though they are separate states. I've been reading this whole entire report. It's 37 pages long. And throughout this whole entire report, it talks about the fact of how women are subjugated, women are hurt, women are abused, women are mistreated, women are looked down upon. This is the public opinion survey right here. 67% of men think that men are better leaders in these countries. 67% think women should not be allowed to travel independently. That's the supermajority. 75% think men should have a greater share of inheritance than women. 60% think husbands should have final say in family decisions. So this is for the whole entire region. This survey was taken created by the CRS with data from Catherine Thomas, Women's Rights in the Middle East and North Africa, taken August 2019. So this is all pretty current intel right here, which shows you that the regional dynamic is similar. The regional dynamic is similar. As I've read through this article, I've been trying to find why is the regional dynamic so similar, and what will they attribute these similarities to? And I know in my heart of hearts what it is. It is Islam. Islam is violence. Islam says that women are only half as smart as men. Islam says that if anybody who is not a Muslim is automatically less than a person who is Islamic, and anybody who is Islamic cannot commit a crime against a non-Muslim. Any action committed against a non-Muslim by a Muslim is automatically acceptable. Any action committed by a non-Muslim towards a Muslim is automatically unacceptable. So it's this religious indoctrination. They call it extremism in this report. It's one of the very last things that they say could happen. It's interesting though, because there's a lot of graphs on this, and I just would like to stop here and point out the fact that Yemen has no age for marriage. Yemen has no legal constitutional ensuring gender equality. Nope. Yemen. Legal provisions addressing domestic violence. Nope. And then legal age of marriage. Nope. This is Yemen. Yemen, I have found on these graphs, is the lowest of the low. It is the most backwards of places. It is the place where debauchery reigns supreme, where male masturbatory actions are constant and forever, where it's always about stroking the ego of men, stroking the ego of men. That is, Islam is Islam is bad. I wanted to point out the fact that it talks about here in this MENA paradox. It says that women have the MENA paradox is that women in the Middle East and North Africa have increased in education. They've gotten smarter, but they have not been allowed to work in the work industry, in any sort of industry. They found that female employment has not risen with female education. And that's because there are actual institutionalized laws that prevent these women from achieving goals. This is institutionalized discrimination. This is the sort of thing that social justice warriors here in the United States attest to despise. They say that I will do anything to rid the United States of this systemic racism, systemic sexism, systemic ageism, systemic gender inequality. And I say to you right now that the facts are that there is a real problem, there is a real enemy, and here it is. The MENA countries need to be put in line by the rest of the world. The fact that in Yemen, that there are girls probably as young as 10 years old that are married to men. The fact that there are over 700,000 new under 18 child brides that are every single year over 700,000 young girls under the age of 18 are subjected to forced marriage. I invite anybody who's viewing this video to just take a quick minute and follow the links and just look at some of these charts. They really are revealing about the fact that we are being blinded, we're being misdirected. Our intent, our actions, and our hearts need to be directed towards real victims, and the real victims are the females and the young people of the Middle East, these MENA countries. Pray for them, pray for us.